as the cat walks by. Does the cat know we were just shopping for it?
It.
Sorry, him.
My gosh,
My
rude.
goodness. Hi, everybody. It's Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching. Welcome to Moment of Presence with.
Krista.
So here we are.
Yep.
Can you
Here
believe
we
it's
are.
freaking September?
What'd you say?
It's freaking September.
Don't get me
Like, it's
started.
September.
Don't get me started.
Like, how is that even possible?
Don't get me started. I don't know how it's September. Literally a minute ago,
Okay,
March.
wait. I was just looking something up and I have a quote. Hold on. Well, humans are concerned more with having than being, which is really
With what? Having than being?
good.
Okay.
And what?
I said that checks out.
And well, that one's good too. Wait, there's one about time. The sole purpose of life has been to pass on what's learned. Time is the only true unit of measure. What movie do you think all of this is from?
Around the world in 180 days.
No, Lucy. Ignorance brings chaos, not knowledge. Ain't that the truth? Like, let me, I gotta repeat that. Ignorance brings chaos, not knowledge.
I feel like that's self-explanatory, but okay.
It's
I mean,
still
yeah.
kind of big. Yeah, it's still kind of big. I mean, and here's one more, just because I was looking up, Lucy quotes, and uh, we've codified our existence to bring it down to human. What does that say? To human size. That's what it says. It's in a weird font. To make it comprehensible, we've created a scale so we can forget it's unfathomable. That.
You stopped and started so many times. I don't know where that sentence began and ended.
We've codified our existence to bring it down to human size, to make it comprehensible. We've created a scale so we can forget its unfathomable scale. Life is you can't measure life. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I was geeking out on Lucy. It's one of my favorite movies. Anywho,
Anyway, today's topic.
today's topic is not about Lucy, but it is about using more of like who you actually are, being more authentic, living in your within yourself, knowing who you are, understanding yourself. So radical self-acceptance, radical self-responsibility, and how coaching can help you with those breakthroughs. Hence the title, Real People, Real Breakthroughs.
Yeah, I love it.
So,
What do you kick off?
well, I mean, I was thinking about the clients that I've coached, and hey, if you are here, comment, let us know where you're from, ask questions, tell us what you've learned. If you've had coaching before, if you've never had coaching, tell us what holds you back. But definitely subscribe, like, to get our notifications of when we go live. And we are going to shorten them and make them a little bit more bite size. So basically, I'm not going to get too deep into it. And obviously, for confidentiality reasons, I can't go into too many of the specifics, but the clients that I have worked with, they've come to me with not understanding what's holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen a lot of, issues with control. whether they've been controlled and they don't know how to break free, or they like to control their surroundings
Mhm.
and they hold on so tightly that they're resistant to the flow,
Mhm.
like a donkey being very stubborn,
I
not
don't know,
wanting
you're describing me so easy.
not wanting to move. Um, and so, a lot of times one of the first things that that I'll go through with a client is talking about like values, old belief systems, like what are their beliefs and are they still serving them? Are they not serving them? Uh, I had a client that had been in the corporate world her whole entire life. She was miserable. She was unhappy. She lost her position. Uh, and she had some career coaching, but what I was coaching her on was more mindset
Mhm.
and belief, and what we continued, because coaching isn't just a one and done. Coaching is something that you continue to do because there's different levels that you hit, and different levels you have to dive deeper into in order to uncover the true root cause.
Yeah.
Not because we're going into your past. That's not what I mean when I say deeper. It's more about getting to the other levels, right? Like, oh, I'm going to control where we're going to go for dinner, but why? Like, what's the deeper issue? Was the deeper issue fear because you're not sure you're going to like what's on the menu? Is it fear that you can't be adaptable, that you don't like change, it's a new place? Like what is the fear about? And diving into that and then going even deeper into, or are you afraid to be seen? Are you afraid to go out and about because you might
Mhm.
be seen? Uh, are you afraid to spend money, being, afraid that you're in lack
Mhm.
and not thinking that money is flowing your way?
Mhm.
So, all of these issues come up when you start looking at values and old belief systems, habits. uh, we've talked about people pleasing and that, I'm
Well, hold
a
on, hold on, hold on. You're going into another topic. One thing I want to highlight is I love that you
Mhm,
gave a really simple example, um, because that is what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. A lot of times I think we get into this mindset of, we get coaching and we work on ourselves. It has to be these big, massive mountains that we're
mhm,
supposed to move, but the actual everyday of what it looks like is something like that.
right.
And something as simple as what was it? What would you say that you don't want to go out to dinner, or that you want to pick where you go for dinner?
Like, yeah, like you either don't wanna go out to dinner or you wanna control where you go to dinner. You're
Right,
not open to someone else making the decision for you,
right.
or
And I mean, both of those are examples where it seems so superficial at the surface, but like you just said
Mhm,
and explored, there's so much underneath that to
right.
explore. And it's those little things that more often than not clue you into the bigger things.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's where the really fun stuff starts happening, because you start uncovering the deeper issues, and then that's when change happens.
Mhm,
That's when you can start applying what we've been learning and
mhm,
working on. The issue is that when you don't have a coach and you read a book, you read a really good book. I've read like 4 in the last couple months.
mhm.
I think 1 every 2 weeks is what the book club is doing, and it's great, but if I'm not applying what I'm learning in those
Yeah.
books, then did I really get anything out of it? And I can tell you that there's certain pieces that I wrote down that I have on stickies that I am applying because they meant something, that they were so like, "Oh my gosh." Like,
Mhm.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's being okay with what you find out about yourself. And sometimes that's the actual reason why you don't ask for help or you don't get coaching, is because you're afraid of what you might find out about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very real fear with anything that, you fear at some level. If you open up the rabbit hole, you go down the rabbit hole, that you're not going to be able to get yourself out of it. That's a big thing with grief that happens too.
Mhm.
We feel like, well, if I let myself go, if I let myself open up that wound, I'm not going to recover from it. Which ultimately is literally the opposite of what happens. Is the more that you open it, actually, the more the quicker you tend to heal from something. Um, it's so funny that you gave that example, because think about when I was in my early 20s, and I have a
Mhm.
very distinct memory of, we had family friends over and it was a pool day. I wasn't in the pool, and they were like, "Oh, can you, since you're not in the pool with us, do you mind running out and grabbing us this specific cut of meat that's at this specific store 10, 15 minutes away?" And in my early 20s, I mean, I've always been anxious, but like, I was very unsettled,
Mhm.
uncomfortable, not interested in going anywhere outside of a couple of places that I knew where I was going. I knew the type of people that were there. I was comfortable with that environment. And it was very difficult for me. I did it because I didn't want to ruin the party, and I went. And I'll never forget later that night, my dad being like, after you left, so and so was like, "What was her deal? Like, why was it such a big deal?" And he was like, "No, you don't understand. The fact that she just went is huge."
Huge.
Because
Huge.
that was so, and then looking into that, there's a lot of stuff that went into that. Not feeling, not trusting other people, not feeling safe around other people, and what are the intentions of
Right.
other people that I don't know, and things like that. And that took some working through. But now, you know, I,
Yeah.
I still don't really trust people all that much, but I can work through it and still go out places, and do what I need to do, and it's not an issue.
I'll never forget, I was in a group coaching situation, and I was part of the group, and one of the assignments was to go do something that was completely outside of your comfort zone,
Mhm.
and like videotape it, journal it, like document it somehow.
Proof.
And I remember that one of the participants
Hmm.
went to a store that I don't want to give it too much away, but she went to a store that she doesn't really like. And the video that came from it was so funny. And she did such a good job. Like, she went in, but like there were times that she was behind like a shelf, like the big aisles, like, I'm here and there's a bunch of children screaming and having a temper
Yeah,
tantrum.
I thought I knew what kind of story you were talking about, but now that you just said children, definitely not what my brain.
Yeah, it was. It's a regular store. It's like just a regular store. Um,
Home Goods Costco thing?
yeah, like a
Okay,
Target, like just a big
yeah,
store where there's a lot of chaos.
okay. Mhm.
And so it was being comfortable in that chaos. But the videos of sitting in the car and having to convince yourself, like, I can do this, like the pep talk, and then the walking in and then hiding in the aisles going, oh my God, this kid is having a temper tantrum. What is going on? And just the video. And afterwards, there was just this, when she was back in the car, she did another video and she was just so proud of herself. Like,
Mhm.
she didn't buy anything. That wasn't the point of it. It was to go in and just walk around and just be
I
there
would
in
have
that
had to have gotten
space.
myself a little treat, but I understand.
Yeah. Um, so it's being challenged by somebody and then being held accountable that you took the action, and then the guidance of unpacking what the experience taught you.
Mhm.
What did you figure out
Mhm.
about the situation?
Mhm.
And so there was a client that I was working with last week, and she up and did something totally spontaneous. And she could. She's created a situation for herself now where she can up and go, and she can do that, and realized, oh, wait a second. This now has created things that I can use for my future goals,
Mhm.
because she got that experience, and she more videos. I have lots of clients that do videos. And so she has all of this stuff that she can now use and talk about, which is going to help her
Hmm.
in her future.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I love about all of this?
what?
And it's something I feel like that's like kind of like controversial. But I know when I was growing up, the whole thing was like, you shouldn't do things for other people. You should only do it for yourself. And I remember from
Mhm.
when I was a teenager, I was like, I don't, respectfully to myself, I don't give a shit about myself. I need other people and the pressure of society in certain ways to force me to do things. I need to have that motivation of, the dating world and all of that to get out in the gym.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I love laying around and just enjoying eating well, but laying around, like, I need that external pressure. And I think that's something that, if you just run your life, especially with the way that influencers, have
Mhm.
blown up and all of that, if you just run your life based on what random people on the internet are telling you and quotes that you see, it's not necessarily going to lead you down the greatest path. Because, like, if
Right.
I listened to that, oh, you should do it for yourself, I'd be in a very different place. Now, I'll do things just for myself. But I think there's something to be said about use the motivation, use the tools, use what you need to get yourself to a better place. Then you can take the next step and refine that further. So, like, if it takes, I'm trying to think of another example. Um, oh, one of the something I've done before too is it's like, you really shouldn't be. You got to let your ego go. You got to let your ego. You shouldn't have an ego. If you're starting from the trenches, use
Right.
that ego to get you out of the trenches. Then when we're in a better mind space, now let's work
Right.
on reducing, but like that whole concept of like fake it till you make it gets you where you need to go sometimes. Having somebody like a coach that I gotta get this thing done because they're depending on me, if that gets you where you need to be, and the reason why coaches exist is because it's
Mhm.
tried and true and it works, do that because that is what is effective.
Hmm. And I think it's important to remember that the coaches have been there, the good coaches, and that's why you have to interview your coaches
Yeah.
or your mentors, whatever. But your good coaches have already been there, done that, and that's why they have the insight to be able to provide or guide you to your own answers.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing about coaching. We're not giving answers. We're leading you, we're asking
Yeah.
questions. Sometimes I will point something out and say, ask it in a way where the person will sit back and go, oh, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's perspective shifts. And that's what's also so important is just having those perspective shifts. I had a client again that had a situation where her identity was stolen, like stole money, bank, the bank information, like everything. And I was like, well, hold on a second. One, are you going to get everything back? Yes. Okay. What are you learning from this? Like what experience has this now given you that's
Mhm.
now going to help you in your goals that are up and coming? What have you learned?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, oh, yeah. And it was like, well, but wait a second. And then the other thing was all that information was already kind of out there. So, yes, it's horrific and it's not fun and you feel violated. But if you've never felt that before, how can you help other people when they're in that situation? Because you don't understand it. And so
Yeah.
sometimes we have to experience shitty things
Mhm.
because we're meant to help someone else.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what helped me deal with you having cancer. Like what the heck? And it's so I was just talking about this like when with book club, I was talking about this when we start questioning, we're actually questioning like the almighty, right? The all powerful source of everything. And so is it good to question? we can get curious. What am I supposed to gain from this? What am I supposed to learn from this? But if there's a path that's been set out and you're following the breadcrumbs, who are we to go, are you sure? Like, can you imagine the conversation? Excuse me, God, you got a second? Like, can I just talk to you for a minute? Are you really sure that I should be going this way and not that way? Because,
Mhm.
I just, can
I
you
don't
imagine
know
what
about
you're
this.
thinking?
Yeah.
Like, do you have your head on straight? Like, can you imagine?
It's like my favorite, I don't know, what a short story, whatever, where it's like, or it's concept. It's like if you ask for a cake and you have flour, butter, eggs, powdered sugar, oil, all on your doorstep. You ask for a cake, you have everything you need to make it. So it just goes back to one of those concepts. We don't know all ends. We you
Right.
know whether it's a positive thing happening or a negative thing happening, it's leading us to the next step.
Right. And sometimes you need to be reminded about that
Oh, not sometimes, constantly.
to get you out of that mindset of, oh my God, everything bad always happens to me. And I'm not saying that to mock anybody. I've been there myself. I've been there. And it's like, wait a second, is it happening to you or is it happening for you? Is someone being a complete jerk and you have to question whether you need to stay with that job or leave that job? Is it because you actually belong there and God's just stirring up trouble for you? Or is it to move you in the direction that you're supposed to be going because there's something better on the other side?
Yeah.
And a lot of times people get stuck in the negative.
Yeah.
It's like when you stub your toe and your whole day is ruined now because in 1 second, in one moment in the early morning, you stubbed your toe and now everything sucks
Yeah.
because you're focusing on all of the bad.
My favorite thing that I've done recently is I've trained myself to follow up with negative thoughts with, your life's actually pretty good, so like let's redirect that. Like I'll
Yeah.
be like, oh my gosh, life is whatever, and I'll be like, wait a second, hold on. Beautiful home, beautiful family, great friends, great job. You like your job. Everything in all of these other areas going great. Thank you, God. Move on with
Yeah.
my day. But you
But
have to, and it's so funny because something like that is absolutely something that you have to train yourself to do. I feel like we always end up at this part of the conversation, but it's always so funny to me how simple mindset work is, how simple mindfulness is, how
mhm.
simple these techniques and strategies are to get us into a better place. But the irony of it all is, as simple as it is, I literally was just thinking this 30 minutes ago about something else. As simple as they are, they just never occur to you when you need them the most. Unless you have someone that you're working with to remind you and walk you through those things until you get to the point where it's a habit. And even then, there's still going to be times where it literally just never occurs to you.
Yeah.
Whether it's because you're
Yeah.
seeing it from a different perspective or you're just so engrossed in the moment that all of those tools and tips and tricks and everything legitimately just aren't in your mind space. And then
Mhm.
after the fact, you're like, oh, why didn't I do that?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why? Oh my god, I
E-
should have done this.
Even when you have reminders, you can have sticky notes everywhere, but
Sticky
now
note huge.
you've become blind, home blind because now you see them all the time,
Yeah.
and so they don't really matter to you anymore. And so you need somebody to like wake you up and go, "Hello." Something
Or even having someone not even just say, "Hello, remember this thing," but also deliver it in a slightly different way where it hits differently
right.
this time and you're able to receive it.
And what's so funny, and I was on a coaching call yesterday, and I I literally said something and I went, I have no, just so you know, I have no idea where that came from. That was not me talking. Like, it happens to me all the time, and it's
Yeah.
funny because now my clients know and they'll be like, that that wasn't you talking, was it? And I'm like, no, those weren't my words. That
Mhm.
was something, that was a higher force coming through me. And it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing, because I've done the work, not saying that I'm done or that I'm like way up here. I've just done certain things so that my intuition it is open. I'm not blocked. I can be blocked sometimes. I'm not going to lie. We all can. But my intuition is open so that way it can come through.
Mhm.
So something so simple, a shift, and we'll stop here, and I want to leave you guys curious and wanting more. Um, but something as simple as, what is the difference between hope and faith, and being called out on it? Well, I hope that happens. Yeah, I hope you're right.
I know the
Where's
answer.
What's the answer, Krista?
Oh, I thought we were gonna leave a cliffhanger.
We can. We can. If you don't
Put in
know
the
the difference
comments.
between, if you don't know the difference between hope and faith, which a lot of people will think that hope is a good thing, you should have hope. Hope is good, right? Um, but if you don't understand the little nuance of that shift, it's a mindset shift. It changes so much when you understand it. And it's so simple. But we also have other people around us that will pull us out of where we are, what we've learned, what we've worked up with our coach on. We feel really good. We feel real aligned. And then we go out into the real world and our friends are like, oh, that's poppycock. That's not real. That, no, that's stupid or whatever. And then all of a sudden you've fallen into the same old quicksand that you've always been in. And
Mhm.
so we talk about that too, like how to manage the people around you and align yourself with what you want versus what you have that may not be working. And I'm not saying to break off relationships, but there is some adjustments that have to happen. And guess who's responsible for those adjustments? Hint, not the other people. So it's radical responsibility, radical self acceptance, and it makes major changes in your life, major changes. And it's all in your hands. It's all in your hands. It's all right here.
Yeah.
You just need somebody to help you bring it out. So if you're interested, if you want to learn more, you want to hear more stories, I have lots of them. Um, yeah, book a call, mokshagrace.com/coaching. Book the call. We'll just talk and see what is it that you need, what is it that you don't need, and how we can fix the situation and get you moving forward. So
Deep
that is our real
deep breath.
story. Oh yeah,
Deep
let's
breath.
take some deep breaths. So why don't we today try, because we like different breathing methods, and I'm learning different breathing methods in my
Oh, what are you
metaphysician
doing?
course. So we're going to breathe in through our nose and we're going to exhale through our mouth after we hold it for 3 seconds. So
Okay.
deep breath in your nose, hold, and then sigh it out. And then another deep breath in through your nose, hold, take in a little extra, and then release.
That was like a 6-second hold, dude. I don't have the lung capacity for that.
You do. That's the other thing. Words matter. And that's a fun part about coaching sessions. Deep breath in, hold, exhale out of your yawn.
I'm sorry.
So there's all other things that we talk about in coaching sessions, identity issues, fears, uh, yes, even your other voices that live within you. those shadows that don't all listen. Everybody has shadows. As kids, we have shadows. Guess what? They're on the pavement, but they really are inside of us, and we become friends with them. But anyway, lots of shifting perspective, lots of gratitude, lots of breaking habits and making new ones that are healthier for you mentally, and spiritually as well. Not religious, but a spiritual journey. So we all have choices. We can stay where we are. We can decide to have a bad day or a sucky month or a sucky rest of the year. Or we can make a decision, make a choice that we want change. And we can then take action, which can look like just a simple phone call. So if you're ready, and I say that because you got to be ready, you got to be open. But if you're ready for your life to be different and you're tired of the same old, then let's talk. So no pressure, no hype, just a chat. Thank you for always being here. It's always a pleasure to have a moment of presence with my beautiful daughter.
Right back
And
at you, babe.
and all of you, thank you all for being here and we will see you next week. So, have a good week and make good choices.
Bye.
Bye.